Hi everyone, welcome to the show. I'm Amy.
And I'm Sarah, and today we're going to be discussing Is She Really Going Out With Him by Sophie Cousens.
The first 2 minutes we're going to do a brief review of the story without any spoilers. Then we are going to shift into a deeper book discussion that's going to include lots of spoilers, but don't worry, we're going to let you know before we do shift into that deeper book discussion.
That's right. So before we dive in, Amy, tell us a little bit about this story.
A divorced woman who writes a column for a print magazine is forced to make creative changes to her column. This change pairs her up to write alongside her good-looking younger coworker. She has to go on 10 dates with different men her kids select for her. This delightful rom-com was witty, charming, and heartwarming. Sarah, what did you think about this story?
You said some of the things that I was going to say. It's delightful, it's witty, it's charming. I listened to this on audio. I highly recommend. The narrator does a fantastic job. This story was so funny. It's a topic that we haven't really discussed before. We've never really covered. Somebody who is kind of walking through the aftermath of a divorce, and then you get the fun little play on that she has to go on all these dates that her children get to choose. I can't even imagine. That would be terrifying to me. I laughed so much. It was so heartwarming, and it made me so happy. I loved it. What'd you think?
This was such a cozy, delightful breath of fresh air. It really reminded me a lot of How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, the famous movie that everybody loves. It's so charming. I loved it.
Yeah, it has all those good feels when you're reading it. You're just happy.
All right, let's get into our ratings. Angst.
This was just like a 0.5.
I did 0.
Yeah, it's not...
It's cute. Not much angst.
There is something that takes place that I was like, ugh, how's that going to work? And that was my angst. It's not an angsty story. It's delightful.
All right, humor.
It was like, I wanted to say 2 to 2.5. I kind of teetered. I didn't know which way to go.
I did 1.5. I was a little lower than you, but I there was a lot of really witty inner dialogue. This female main character is just a delight. I really liked her.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with my 2. That's what I have, but I did kind of...
Teeter a bit?
Yeah, teeter of which to choose.
All right, spiciness.
Spice. 0.25.
I did 0.5.
Okay, and see, I had 0.5 and I was like, I wasn't sure. There's tension.
There's tension. There's some suggestive dialogue.
Yeah.
A bit.
Let's say 0.5.
Okay.
That's what I actually have here, and I was thinking about. I literally changed it on the spot. Fun fact. But let's do 0.5.
Okay. All right. Tears.
1.
Okay, I did 0.
Well, I didn't cry.
I knew you were gonna do higher than me because you
I didn't cry, but it starts off with her getting divorced, and it made me sad, and that's hard. And learning how to co-parent, and I don't have experience with that, but I can, sympathize for somebody who's walking through that, and
I think I like that perspective and point of view, and I think probably the reason why I didn't focus as much on that is because that was the prologue, and then it jumps to a year later, so some time had passed on that.
I think it hits me because there's still some little moments throughout because you have to co-parent, and so it just made me sad, but I did not cry. This is not a sad story at all.
All right, overall
5.
I did 4.25. I love the story.
I loved it.
Feel good, cozy, a great palate cleanser. It was a delight.
It was one of my favorites. I loved it.
All right, that concludes the spoiler-free quick review of this story. If you would like to continue on with us into that deeper discussion, simply click the link below or open any podcast platform and search for Post-Book Depression. We would also love to connect with you on social media. You can find us on Instagram at Post-Book Depression Podcast, on Facebook in our Post-Book Depression discussion group, and you can also email us at postbookdepressionpodcast@gmail.com.